It's finished Friday. I'm stitching it my way. Just wanna be sitting with needles and knitting. Hello, hello. Yes, that's right, y'all. We made it to another Finish It Friday. So say hello in the comment section. Let me know where you're watching from and what your whip is, what we're doing together today. Bring along your project on the journey. And of course, let me know what your FO latest finished object is. Now, everybody's welcome here, whether you craft or not. If you knit and crochet, that's great, because that's what I do. If you're new here, by the way, hi, my name's May. I love yarn. I love to knit and crochet. Those are my hobbies. And I also happen to have been born visually impaired, legally blind, and completely colorblind. So I mostly knit and crochet by feel, okay? But so that's what I'm going to be talking about today. My latest FO is the big boxy cardi, which was a mal in the crafting community, which is a make along with Juan, the yarn addict, on his YouTube channel. And I crocheted mine in the Knit Picks We Crochet Wool of the Andes Super Wash Bulky, of course, in the color Hollyberry, right? If you're a returning viewer to my channel, you just know that I love to buy the Hollyberry, right? I gotta have one of everything in the Hollyberry. Hollyberry, if you're colorblind like myself, is a really, really dark burgundy red. It is so beautiful, and I chose to use a 7mm hook on mine. So I did work on this project a couple times with you. It might have been for Whip Wednesdays. It might have been for Mondays with May. I'll be real, I don't totally remember for sure. But I did recommend, I was working on my back panel with y'all. I was working on one of the front panels with y'all. And I left links down there in case you too wanted to make the big boxy cardi with me and with Juan and whoever else was over there. So let me know. Did you check out his videos? Did you join us on the make along? Are you interested in making? Is it on your list now? You know, your ever growing list of projects of future makes? Yeah, mine just keeps growing and growing. So, if you did his, you know, let me know how it went for you. He was double stranding of a number 4 worsted weight with, I think, a 8mm or a 9mm. I can't even remember now. I tried that, by the way. We talked about that, right? I tried using the Bravo worsted tweed in the colored chimney sweep. I should have brought it in here with me because it's a beautiful yarn. It's a black with some white kind of tweedy neps, and it's really beautiful. But I was just struggling a lot to work with 2 yarns. I'm going to keep practicing crocheting with 2 yarns, though. I know I can get better at it. Like I said, I've done it before to make baskets. I've crocheted baskets before with 2 yarns. So surely, right, I can do a whole cardi. But it just wasn't working out for me, so I went with the bulky with the number 7mm hook. That just worked out better for me. Really glad I made that choice. And who knows, in the future maybe I will do a double strand, or maybe I'll do a worsted weight on a 6mm. Don't know yet. So anyways, I wasn't sure if this particular project was going to be featured on a Finish It Friday video or not, because I'm going to be real with you. I struggled completing this project. Okay, it challenged me. And first, what I want to make super clear is when I do Finish It Friday projects and I feature somebody else's project, when I talk about things that were challenging, things that were hard, things that I modified, it doesn't have anything to do with the designer, very likely. I mean, if I truly think the designer made a mistake in the pattern, I'll let you know. But usually that's not the case. Usually it's my lack of skill, it's my lack of knowledge, it's something that's not a strength for me that I'm not good at. And so I modify it, I find other ways, or I just have to, like, you know, practice it over and over and over. And so, like I did Crystal's poncho, right? Crystal from Bago Day. We did her poncho, I think the first Friday of September. And I said I struggled with the, you know, the join, right? And that had nothing to do with Crystal. It was just that I wasn't good at it. It had nothing to do with the fact that I didn't do the front post, back post ribbing on the collar. It was that I like to knit, and I knew I could do it with knitting a lot easier, but I still made myself do it in the end. And the cuffs, I'm so glad that I did. So I choose projects that are going to challenge me, right? Help me to build skills. So I am really, really glad that I took on this project because it definitely challenged me. I definitely built some garment construction design skills, and I'm super, super happy for that. That's what I'm out here to do. That's what I want to do. I want to learn more garment construction. And so, the challenges that I had on this had nothing to do with Juan. It had nothing to do with his instruction, right? Like, I live in Washington State. He's all the way across the country in Delaware, okay? He didn't come over here and make the cardi and make the problem. That was all me and my, these are new things for me. So anyways, if you did or did not join it, the make along is over, but of course you can still go back and watch it, and I'm going to try to at least link up the first one for you. He said that the make along was done over 4 weeks, 4 live sessions, which I loved. I thought, what a great way to teach somebody how to do this, was to have like a live interactive, YouTube video and invite and encourage people to ask their questions. What a great idea, right? So cool. So, I did watch the first one live, but I was working on another project. I think I was working on the whiter shade of pale crochet card coat, and that didn't take me that long, but I was juggling multiple projects. I think I was still working on the skirting the wave skirt. I just had stuff, going, right? I have projects going, probably working on Mrs. Bear, who knows? So I just, when the first make along, I listened, I caught it live, but I wasn't working on it. So I did get behind on it. So I missed the second live, but the first one, it was fine. It was, even though I was behind, I didn't work on it then. It's literally just measure your favorite garment that you want the same fit for your cardi, right? This big boxy cardi, something loose, and then make a chain of that width. How simple, right? And then make a rectangle. That was literally week 1. Make a rectangle, right? The size of like the back, or the width of your favorite garment that you want this to match up. Something with a loose, fit. Something that's going to go over the top of stuff. So this is mine. I missed week 2 because, I was behind. And so I just missed it. I wasn't able to work on it then. That was fine. It was just the front panels. It would literally make the front panels and then seam it. So I did catch week 3 and 4 live. Very glad that I did. I didn't have questions that I needed to ask, but still glad that I was there for that. Now, even though it's over, I'm sure if you had questions, you could probably just put them in the comment section, and maybe he or one of his team members, he does have some mods that help him run his channel, could probably help you out with your questions. So the sleeves are, of course, and the ribbing. Week 3 and 4 is where I did have some difficulties. And my difficulties with the sleeves were really, I did go a little rogue. I mean, right, this is me. I mean, rarely do I ever actually follow somebody else's pattern. So I'm going to just tell you, I went a little rogue on the sleeves. You start by doing your anchor round where you attach just a drop sleeve, and you just go straight around and attach. And then on a round, I think it's 2 to 6, you do a decrease on each end, right? So you decrease, work to the end of the row, decrease, go back and forth. And I think he did that 5 times. I might have done that 6 times. And then I think he had us do like a 1 decrease, each round instead of 2. And I don't think I did that. I think I worked straight across for about 5 rows and then did a decrease on each end where I did a decrease by 2. Probably worked another 5 or something. Did another row where I took out 2 more, did 2 decreases in 1 row, and then worked to my sleeves and my cuffs, and then did 2 rows where I did 2 decreases on each row. So you know me, I went a little rogue. That's what I do. And of course, the biggest challenge that I had with the sleeves is pretty similar thing that I can sometimes have when I'm knitting sleeves or knitting socks. I work when I'm really tired. I work when I'm listening to other stuff, right? When I'm listening to audiobooks or trying to learn something else. And so I lost track of my rows. Yeah, I ended up with 1 sleeve that was a little bit longer, not much, like one row longer than the other. And that was like, you know, post cuff. Yeah, post cuff. So it was with my decreases there. So I did have to frog one of my cuffs, but that was all well, right? The sleeves worked out. It was all well. I did struggle a little bit with maintaining my stitch count on the sleeves, but it worked out. I think that they look even enough, right? I think they look pretty good. It certainly is functional. It's not perfect, okay? It's not perfect, but it's very functional. We've already been pretty cold here in the mornings. We've already been down into the 50s overnight, and I mean like low 50s, like 50, like 50, like you bump it one more and we'll be into the 40s. It gets chilly here overnight. So guess what? When I'm awake, roaming around the house at 5 o'clock in the morning, I put this on a couple of mornings. It's nice. It's roomy. It's exactly what it should be. It's a big boxy cardi to wear around the house, okay? So week 4 is definitely where I had the most challenges, and I struggled with whether or not to even make this video. I almost was like, maybe will forget that I made the big boxy cardi and nobody will ever ask about it. Nobody will think like, did she ever finish that, right? Because part of me didn't want to do a finisher Friday on this video, on this project, because it's not perfect. But you know what? I remind myself that none of my projects are perfect, okay? I could probably find you a flaw in every single project that I've made. And if not a flaw or mistake, I could find you a needs improvement, right? I mean, I could critique my work all day and be like, oh, I could have done that better. Oh, I could have done that better. I could do that all day. So I could easily find you flaws in all my projects. So I did go ahead and decide. I just know that other people, I think, when you're putting on this ribbing, you attach your ribbing and your ribbing. So what we did, oh, the ribbing on the bottom. That's right. We do the bottom ribbing as well. And I also got that on the wrong side the first time that I did it. So yeah, I frogged my bottom ribbing. This project took me way longer than it should have. I'll be real with you. It took me longer than I was thinking it was going to. Yeah, like the first 2 weeks were good. And then I'm like, oh, now it's getting complicated. Right? We had to do the bottom ribbing after we did the sleeves and the sleeve cuffs. And so I started my ribbing on the wrong side, I'm pretty sure. And after that, like, so then I had to frog that. Yeah, had to frog that. And then I don't know if I stacked my ribbing totally correctly or not. I'll be honest with you. I'm not totally sure that all my ribs are stacked appropriately. Ribbing and crochet, I'm still trying to, like, you know, figure it all out. I think I have it, but it might not be perfect on here. I'm just going to be real with you. And then after I had all the ribbing done, after I'd already frogged it once, I was like, oh wait, I think he said to, excuse me, sorry, hook down for your ribbing on your cuffs and your bottom ribbing. And guess what? I totally forgot to hook down. Yeah, I should have been probably, since I was doing mine on a 7 milli, I probably should have gone down to a 6.5 or even a 6. I didn't, and at that point I'm like, nah, it's good. So mine shoulda, coulda, right, been a little bit tighter on the ribbing. That's on me. I completely spaced that. It's gonna be okay. Like I said, I've worn it. It's fine, right? As Juan says, it's for the house, right? It's for the house. It's all good. It's all good. So I'm good with the fact that I forgot to hook down on that. It fits fine, but I should have. The sleeves don't bother me. The bottom ribbing, yeah, I can definitely see where I should have hooked down on that. It's a little, you know, it's got a little flair to it. Okay, yeah, let's be honest. It's got a little more flair to it than it should. But oh well, at this point. So then I struggled with the ribbing that goes up along from the bottom and then up around. Of course, he gave us the option for a hood too. You know, I like my blue hoodie, so he did show us how. If you want to have a collar just like mine is, you can do a collar. If you want a hood, he does teach you how to put a hood on. I chose not to. I thought just the collar was going to look really nice and I didn't need the hood. Glad I made that decision. I think it's just nice without it. It's all good. But of course, if you want the hood on yours, he does show you how. If you want the ribbing, then he teaches you how to do that, and the pockets. And that was week number 4, was ribbing, hood, pockets. So I did struggle. It's the same thing when I talk about knitting cardigans, right? What do I say? I hate pick up and knit. I'm terrible about getting those stitches to do the ribbing. That's why I often just do a garter band on my blue hoodie that I've designed. Mr. Bear's blue hoodie even, right? We can talk about Mr. Bear's, it's right here. I do a garter stitch band, and I just do that while I do it top down seamless, right? And I just work that garter stitch band in while I'm working the project so that I don't have to go and do a pick up and knit afterwards, because that's so hard for me. But at the same time, I know that it's a skill I should practice, right? It's something I should get better at. So that's why I have challenged me. You've seen me on this channel working some projects, working some baby cardi specifically with these button bands that are pick up and knit, because I have wanted to get better at that. I did the baby sophisticate cardi, and that one I had the problem where it was too loose, right? I missed some stitches, and that's my issue. Usually I do work mostly by feel, and I am having more issues with my eyes, really struggling to see anything most of the time. It's getting hard. So really trying to find the stitches by feel, and usually when I'm doing pick up and knit, it's either that I miss a stitch and it's too loose, or I work a stitch twice, and it's the same thing, whether it's knitting or crochet, I'm finding with these button bands, right? Or I work into the same stitch, and then there's too many stitches, and it really bells out, okay? So that's what happened, which I've done that before on knit cardi, so I'm not at all surprised that I do that on crochet cardis too. I did work the Premier Yarn V-neck baby cardi in the Dottie earlier this summer, and that one I actually got the button band correct. Super happy with that one. That's probably the best looking button band, pick up and knit button band I've ever done on a cardi. Okay, let's be real. So really happy with that one, but obviously with crochet it's still going to be an issue for me. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to have to frog it. And then I thought, just for y'all, because, you know what, I have a feeling that other people who are brand new to garment construction might also struggle with that. Even if you're sighted, right? Sighted people can still struggle when you're brand new, when you're doing something that's new to you. I know I'm not the only person who's like, is that where my stitch goes? Right? And so I went ahead and made some quick little recordings that I'll pop in at the end of me frogging the button band, because it needed to happen. It just did. I had to frog it probably 3 times. I had too many stitches, and one time I had like too many stitches on one side. The other side looked great. Well, you know what? I really wanted them to match as close as possible. I wanted to make sure that I had the same, right? That I had the same number of stitches on each side till I got to my, back here, right? So I think I probably ended up frogging and reworking this button band like 3 times. And I'll be real with you, I think I still have too many stitches in it, but you know what? I think I have too many stitches evenly. That's what my gut feeling says, is that, you know what? At least it's even, right? It might be a little too belly. It might be a little too crowded up in there. There might be a little too many stitches in the house, right? But at least I think they're fairly even. So I did decide to leave it, but I will put those clips. Oh, and the pockets too. I struggled with the pockets. He has you anchor the pockets and then work it on the garment. And I did my pockets in single crochet, the rest of my cardis in double crochet, except for the trebles on the button band. So if I were to make it again, I might work my pockets not attached to the project, just work them as little patches, and then I can like pin them or stitch marker them down exactly where I want to make sure that I get them really, close to being in the same place on each side as possible. I struggled with that. I think I even took a clip of me frogging the pocket. Guess what? My pockets are still not perfect from each other at all. The one is further, to the seam side than the other. I think one's a little bit misshapen. But I did have to frog pockets as well. Week 4 was by far those finishing touches, those finishing details were by far the most challenging aspects of the project for me. But like I said, that's not a criticism of Juan and his teaching. That's all on me and being new. That's all on me trying to, work with, just trying to learn new skills. So I did decide to finally just leave it, even though it's not perfect. I do know if I want to make it again, right, I could make it again, or even not, at least I have new skills. I'm sure, I have no doubt that just, I like to knit cardis. You've seen me, I work a lot of baby cardis. I think baby cardis are so fun. And so, I love to knit cardis, so I'm sure that I will crochet another cardi. It might not be this one, it might be another one. But, well, you saw it, I did the white one already, and I had kind of the same issues, right? The exact same issues where I was trying to, that's where I had the most issues. The rest of that cardi, the rest of that big whiter shaded pale card coat, quick, boom, 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 boom. And then I got to the ribbing, right? The band, and it was like, oh. And then I had a frog. And so I'm learning those skills. It's definitely going to challenge me for a while. So yeah, I will definitely try and crochet another cardi, another coat, something like that, so I can keep practicing those skills, because those are always something I always want to try to get better. I always want to take on projects where I can say, I want to learn, right? I want to grow my skills. So anyways, I really enjoyed this make along and I think I did pretty good with it till the last week, right? Till week 4, so we got to the button band and the pockets, and then it was like, oh my goodness. So definitely frustrated. Wasn't even sure if I was going to put it here on Do a Finish It Friday, but I think it's, I think he teaches it well, so I want to encourage people, if you're new to garment construction, or if you've never done a garment and you want to and you're intimidated by it, I definitely want to encourage you to check his out and, make yourself your own big boxy cardi. I think it's great to have around the house this winter. I'm excited about it, and I absolutely learned some skills, learned some techniques. And we'll even if I never make this exact project again, I'm sure that those are skills that I will take and use in future projects or in designing my own projects. So I'm super happy that I did it. Alrighty. Well, let me know. Say hi in the comments. Let me know if you worked it or not. Yeah, and let me know, of course, what your weekend plans are. Right? Okay. Well, thanks so much for listening. And you know what I like to end with, right? Creativity is for everybody, whether you see or you see like me, or just not in color, or you don't see it all. Creativity is for you, and whether it's knitting or crocheting or sewing or quilting or beading or sculpting or painting or carving or weaving or whatever it is that you do today, it's a great day to craft and create. Thanks so much for listening. Until next time, happy stitching. Bye-bye for now.
Recording button.
Still working on my big boxy cardi. This is my second attempt at adding the ribbing, and I think I still have too many stitches crammed in there. So guess what? I think one more time we're gonna frog this out and try again for the third time to get our ribbing done. Yeah, it's okay. Frogging happens. Is it frustrating? Yes. But guess what? We're gonna rip it.
Recording button.
Working
Double
on
tap
the
to activate.
pockets on my big boxy cardi. Got my first pocket on. I don't even think it's quite sewn on straight, but I am going to leave it. However, I got my second pocket and it's actually straight. Like, it's sewn on straight on the bottom. It's straight, but now when I feel it, like, there's more room closer to the band, whereas on the first pocket there's only a little bit of room. I can get like one finger in there. So guess what? We're ripping out and we're frogging the second pocket. I don't know if I'm ever going to get this right. Probably I'll get it closer to where I want it to the button band, and then it won't be straight on the bottom. I don't know how many times I'm going to frog my pockets, but I want to get it right. Will I get it perfect? No. But lots of frogging happening on this project.
Stop recording button.
Trying
Double tap to
again
activate.
to get my second pocket sewn on, hopefully closer to a similar position to my first pocket. I don't know if I'm ever going to get these pockets perfect to where I feel like they're perfect. And I'll just be happy if they're functional, right? But this time I am trying to put in some stitch markers exactly where I want this pocket. Stitch markers are definitely your friend, especially when you're visually impaired. They give you something tactile to follow. So I'm trying this.
Stop.